Week 8 identity was rooted in width, rhythm, and selective extension on offense, paired with a coverage-first, disguise-driven defense that weaponized leverage and timing instead of blitz volume. The Chiefs built offensive efficiency by stretching the field horizontally early, establishing rhythm through quick passing, and unlocking explosives when time to throw extended. Defensively, they compressed space, denied middle-of-field access, and relied on simulated pressure packages to tilt EPA once the opponent reached long yardage downs. The rushing game was context-sensitive but structurally sound when funneled through quarterback or gadget value. Patrick Mahomes and the jet speed family, Worthy and Hunt, produced consistent positive EPA across fronts, while traditional tailback runs were more volatile, particularly outside the tackles, where success rates dipped sharply. Isaiah Pacheco remained near neutral to slightly positive on inside zone and duo concepts, thriving against light and neutral boxes, especially from under-center looks that stabilize AB gap integrity. In contrast, Brashard Smith's efficiency stayed negative across contexts, underscoring that Kansas City's run floor was a byproduct of formation leverage rather than raw tailback production. The practical takeaway: use motion to create defensive width and then hammer duo/IZ to exploit favorable box counts. Reserve edge runs for changeups or tendency breakers. Through the air, Mahomes' profile reflected surgical adaptability. Short throws under 10 air yards formed the rhythmic base. High completion rate, positive EPA, and a reliable drive-sustaining mechanism. Intermediate throws between 10 and 19 air yards represented the offense's money band, generating the strongest EPA with positive CPOE on digs, daggers, and sails. Deep shots beyond 20 air yards were limited in volume, but remained highly profitable when protection held beyond 3 seconds. In timing terms, the quick release game, 2.5 seconds TTD, provided chain control, while extended plays, 2.5 seconds, triggered the explosive phase of the passing tree, provided the pocket remained stable, or Mahomes escaped cleanly. Pressure management stayed elite. Kansas City punished blitz looks with hot spacing through backs and slots, turning potential negatives into positive EPA. Play action was complementary, not foundational. Spacing and protection dictated outcomes more than run-cell fidelity. Target geography revealed the week's tactical segmentation. Travis Kelce thrived on verticals and outbreakers. Corners, posts, and pivots generated strong YAC and positive EPA per target, while TE screens lagged. Rashee Rice emerged as the in-break engine, profiting from RPO glances and dagger concepts that attack linebackers expanding under motion. Xavier Worthy functioned as the motion multiplier. His pre-snap movement and screen involvement produced efficient separation, approximately 8 yards average, forcing off-coverage adjustments and easy EPA. Juju Smith-Schuster provided steady outbreaker production as a chain mover, and Kareem Hunt contributed selective chunk plays on swing and angle routes against man pressure. The sequencing logic was deliberate. Stress the edges with motion, reset box counts with duo/IZ, attack MOF via Rice's inbreakers, and then climb into long TTT specials, sails, overs, slot fades, and keeper boots, once defenses widened. Defensively, the Chiefs deployed a leverage and time economy more than raw pressure frequency. Early downs leaned on zone match principles with inside leverage. The safeties rotated aggressively into the middle of the field, producing robber-style cuts on crossers, while nickels bracketed outbreakers with overlapping safety help. A geometry resembling ROB and Bronco coverage families, inferred from alignment, not labeled on the chart. The effect was clear. Middle field access was constrained, and YAC remained minimal due to fast rally and tackle discipline. In short yardage situations, the defense aligned tight with squat and robber variants to eliminate quick slants and stick routes, relying on run-fit discipline to win the point. Mid-range downs, 4 to 9 yards, introduced simulated pressures and disguised creepers to manipulate protection counts while maintaining coverage numbers. The result was forced checkdowns and compressed EPA. Long yardage downs unlocked the pass rush marriage, T/E and E/T games, well-timed loops, and a surge in negative EPA dropbacks. The defensive line's run integrity remained stronger inside than on the edge, but pursuit speed from safeties and linebackers closed cutbacks efficiently. The unit's overall success was built on coverage precision, contain integrity, and selective pressure rather than blitz volume. Systemic interplay. What defined Kansas City's Week 8 was how offense and defense mirrored each other's spatial logic. Offensively, the Chiefs manipulated width to open middle field access. Defensively, they sat inside leverage to deny it. Both sides thrived on timing. Mahomes creating with extended plays when he had time, and Spagnuolo's defense erasing opponent timing through disguise and simulated heat. Hidden EPA margins came from quarterback scrambles, extending drives, and from defense, turning long downs into drive enders via stunt timing. Rashee Rice's return in Week 8 fundamentally rebalanced Kansas City's offensive geometry and rhythm. Before he re-entered the lineup, the Chiefs' intermediate interior layer had collapsed into a Travis Kelce-only funnel, forcing Patrick Mahomes into perimeter or check-down reads that capped efficiency despite clean protection. In Week 8, Rice reopened that interior by attacking RPO glances, dagger digs, and spacing seams. His 9 catches on 9 targets for 93 yards and a touchdown weren't just about volume. They reflected spacing control and leverage mastery. Every target qualified as open, 3+ yards of separation, and his average target depth of about 8.7 air yards marked a meaningful expansion from the Gadget-style usage earlier in the season. Each glance or intermediate cross forced linebackers to widen under motion, reestablishing middle-of-field access that drives Andy Reid's rhythm passing game. Simply by being a trustworthy in-breaking option who wins early leverage, Rice gave Mahomes the confidence to release on rhythm instead of drifting to extend plays. Rice's reliability also reshaped Kansas City's spacing logic. His intermediate presence allowed the Chiefs to stretch the field horizontally without sacrificing timing, turning Xavier Worthy's motion and jet actions into pure width stressors instead of necessary YAC generators. That restoration brought back the classic Reid triangle: width via Worthy and Hunt motion, middle field manipulation through Rice's glance and dig work, and vertical expansion through Kelce's seams and Worthy's slot fades. The quick game efficiency, less than or equal to 2.5 seconds time to throw, jumped back into elite territory because Rice transformed early down checkdowns into chain-moving throws rather than drive stallers. Week 8 was also the first 2025 game in which Mahomes, Kelce, and Rice all posted above expected EPA per target and catch rate. Kelce functioned as the zone magnet, running every targeted route against zone coverage and none against man, while Rice became the connector between man and zone, punishing soft shells and forcing linebackers to stay shallow. That space opened intermediate windows for Kelce behind them, and Mahomes' off-script playmaking became controlled rather than chaotic because both Rice and Kelce mirrored routes intelligently. The result was stark. 18 of Mahomes' 23 completions, 78%, went to those two players, accounting for nearly all of Kansas City's touchdown production and sustaining drive continuity. Washington's defense offered a split safety zone that dared Kansas City to nickel and dime, but Rice's precision punished that approach. His success reactivated several dormant layers of the offense. The RPO glance series became a legitimate first down weapon again. Dagger and sail concepts resurfaced once linebackers widened, and red zone staples like mesh rail and TE pivot worked because Rice occupied hook curl defenders. Defenses can no longer bracket Kelce with pure inside leverage because Rice's presence demands too high structure or rotated zones, alignments that, in turn, reopen vertical seams for Worthy and Kelce. Quantitatively, the shift was dramatic. Rice's EPA per target jumped from plus 0.28 in Week 7 to plus 0.82 in Week 8, while Mahomes' quick game EPA per dropback climbed 27%. Middle of field target share rose from 52 to 69%. Explosive play rate increased 4 points, and third down conversion rate leapt from 41 to 63%. The offense regained its rhythm and flexibility almost overnight. In short, Rashee Rice's return transformed Kansas City from a perimeter-dependent, low-variance attack into a rhythm-first, leverage-driven system. He restored Mahomes' trust windows, freed Kelsey's vertical bandwidth, and stabilized play sequencing so the Chiefs could alternate between quick game control and long TTT explosives at will. This iteration of Kansas City once again looks like a precision over power unit, manufacturing EPA through spacing discipline, timing synergy, and the reemergence of a true in-breaking WR1.